Next, I'm going The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Not a jam of a ride, but we hit it 6 times a trip, just
Beware,
about. Yeah.
beware.
The
Talk about a spooky ride. That would have been on the dark
give
ride
a,
list.
it'll
Spooky,
give, it'll
spooky.
give a Winnie the Pooh. The animatronics are jam up. You got Pooh, you got Tigger, you got the what is it, the Heffalumpuffus or whatever it is.
The heffalumps and woozles.
Two dads on a mission, chasing magic through the parks. From rope drop to the fireworks, lighting up the dark. Yeah, we're the wildest dads in the wilderness on the ultimate ride. Buckle up, the adventure starts tonight.
Mess with my lighting.
Dude, you got bright as soon as you touched that thing. What is up, everybody? Check. Are we there? Welcome to the Wildest Dads in the Wilderness podcast. I'm Landon. I'm here with Caleb. We're just two dads having fun, talking Disney, playing games, ranking, making lists. We'll do whatever you want, really. Just flash a little bit of cash in front of us, man. We're going to have some fun. What's up, dude?
Making some weird stuff happen today. I don't know. I got this weird laptop. Lights. My color's weird. My light's weird. If you're on YouTube, it's a strange... I've been by myself for a week. My family went out of town for spring break without me. It was just, I don't know. I made a family-sized lasagna for myself tonight. So,
with no
we're
leftovers.
Doing great. I only ate half of it. But, well, I tell you, I felt like an idiot. Maybe I am an idiot. It was like a frozen lasagna. Usually that's my wife's forte. I work the grill. She usually does the inside stuff. And it said 20 minutes on the thing. And I pull it out. It says 20 minutes and 160 degrees. And I get out my meat thermometer, pull it out after 20 minutes, stick it in there. It says 32 degrees. I was like, this thing's just a block of ice. Then put it back in. It ended up taking like an hour. Yeah, no, literally, I stuck it straight in the ice. It was like a hot pocket. Even when it got done, it was like one side of it said like 190 and the other side was like 155. And I was like, all right, like I'm going to just eat it.
You need to stick with the grill. The oven sounds like it's not
I'm gonna put the frozen lasagna on the Traeger next time. See how
dude. Sometimes like I'll be cooking chicken in the oven. We'll do like Japanese food, and I'll put the thermometer on one piece of chicken, and it'll be like 170. It'll be like, oh man, we're ready to roll. And the next one's like 127, and I'm like, how? Y'all in the same
size piece of
pan,
chicken,
man? Yeah, y'all sitting next to each other. What are we doing? Yeah, I'm like you. I like the whole fire up the grill. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about. Spring break, kids are gone, wife's gone, had the house to yourself. My kids are so young that spring break isn't kind of worth the tourist. You know, it's not worth getting in the traffic of the tourism of Disney or the beach or anything like that. So it's kind of a week at the hang with the grandparents usually. But have y'all ever thought about doing maybe a Disney trip on spring break, or have you been there, done that, and you don't want the T-shirt anymore because it's just too crowded?
I think we're getting there. Right now, my kids are still young enough where I'm not worried about them missing a week of school. So we usually just pick a time during school, and we go, yeah, Ben does good in school. Like, I'm not that, it's never really affected him learning or grade-wise or anything. I feel like as we get a little bit older, that could end up being an issue. So I would imagine sometime around the corner, we're going to end up having to plan it up at a break, but...
Yeah.
As of right now, we hadn't been. And just to be clear, they didn't just go off and leave me. They just went to grandparents' house. I had to work and stuff.
Some of us got
if they were in Disney World, I would be there.
Yeah.
I can assure you.
Yeah, I know that we did the Disney trip that spring break, our senior year for baseball, and I really don't remember the crowds. I know that the whole sports complex, ESPN Wide World, was covered up with all different events going on, but I really just don't remember the parks or how busy it was, to be honest.
I mean, it gets crowded. Different states do spring break at different times. My niece and nephew, Kathleen's sister, they went 2 weeks ago for their spring break. My kid's spring break is this week. So, I mean, it's not the entire country going to show up. It's spaced out a little bit. But I feel like that whole kind of month of March is going to be a slight uptick. And what's probably the worst, I would imagine, look into whenever like the city
Florida's
of Orlando's spring break, or the state of Florida. That's probably when it's really bad, I would imagine.
Yeah,
all the
We always
locals.
always talk about the crowds at Disney too, but the place is crowded in the deadest week of the year,
Yeah.
regardless. So it's not really. Yeah, you
There
might see
used to
extra
be a
15
lot
to 30
more.
minute waits, but
There used to be a lot more up and down times, I think, back in the
really,
day. But well, like when I was a kid, even when I was in the college program, I remember us going to Universal one day, and we knocked out. We were there for like 3 hours, and we knocked out almost everything. Like there was not a wait in the park, and you just can't do that anymore. And especially like the one time I would never ever ever go around like New Year's Eve. That is the one where
yeah,
like don't do it.
yeah.
Awful.
Paige just talked about. I think they did New Year's Eve one time, and they were like sitting down for their fireworks show spot at like 11 a.m. Like going and camping out for the rest of the day just to get a spot for fireworks. So
I was
nothing I'm
working one
interested in.
night. I was working one night for New Year's Eve, and my family came to visit, and my mom and sister they came in to watch the fireworks that night, and from the time the fireworks ended, they were in front of the castle. It took them, I believe it was 4 hours to get to the bus. Like they immediately were like, "We're gonna leave," and there's just nothing you could do. It's just shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, no thanks.
Madness.
You could dang near walk to any resort on property in 4 hours from the Magic Kingdom. Just bring your running shoes. Anyway, so I don't think we got any news. No breaking news on this episode, but just gonna get into it. What we came here for.
Is this a list or a ranking? We don't really know, but here you go.
All right.
So what are we ranking? What are we listing? What are we ranking?
We're gonna list or ranking. We're gonna do dark rides, which in my head has a very not strict definition, but I think of a dark ride, I know what that is. Once you start researching dark rides, it's like it seems that different people have different definitions of what a dark ride is. I'll be interested to see what you picked here. It looks like there was an old school version of dark rides, and then it's kind of been modernized a little bit. And I stuck with my old school ways, but I'm interested to see what you came up with. We're gonna do an alternating back and forth here.
Yeah, we can. When we got to talking about dart rides, I had to ask, what are you considering a dart ride? Because in my head, I didn't know Disney terminology of what dart rides meant. I thought dart rides were something along the lines of Tower of Terror, Haunted Mansion, almost that like scary.
Spooky.
Yeah, and I was like, how are we going to rank? There's like 3 of them. It's going to be a quick show,
I got
man.
Tower of Terror one. Well, I got Haunted Mansion one.
Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all next episode. And so once you described to me what the dart rides were, it made a lot more sense. I got on AI, said kind of what are we calling dart rides, and it may have done the same thing you're talking about.
I'll tell you my definition of dark rides is a story driven. It indoors for the most part. A story told by animatronics, somewhat slow moving. Like that is what I picture. Like the Haunted Mansion and the Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff we'll get into, but like that's what I think of when I think of dark rides.
Let me ask you this, because I saw it on, like I said, ChatGPT gave me its modern version of it, and it had Toy Story Mania and Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Those are more arcade games for me, so I don't have them on my list, but like I said, ChatGPT had them as dart rides, but
yeah, for me that's a no. Yeah, I'm with you. There's no really. I mean, I guess there are a few animatronics in Buzz, but there's not a story being told. Mm-hmm. So, in my book, not a dark ride.
So I'll start off the list with, I'm gonna work from my, I guess, least favorite to my most favorite. I'm going.
No, let's go the other way. Let's go the other way.
All right, P1.
Because we're gonna have some honorable mentions at the end. I don't know where to start if we do that.
All right, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We calling that a dart ride? I know it's a.
I got it on my list.
Yeah, it's. My little boy thinks it's a thrill, action-packed adrenaline ride. He can get a little tuned up on that one and not really like how quick it turns. But I do feel like it does tell a story. It's the animatronics. I guess that one really don't have any animatronics. It's more the video screens and stuff. The track list kind of had me questioning whether we would call it a dart ride because it is a newer system. If we are going to call it a dart ride, I have it as probably my favorite.
I love it. I think you could. I had a few higher just for nostalgia purposes, but as far as like the rides that I just like straight up enjoy, like that's near the top of my list. Like that's got a case for number one for sure. Love that ride. All right, number one on my list though, factoring in the nostalgia a bit, was the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Pirates fan. I mean, incredible story, incredible theming, just an awesome ride all the way through. For the most part, everybody in the family likes it. The drops can get the little ones a little bit, but very cool ride.
Yeah, I had it
classic Disney.
I had it as my second favorite for sure. And yeah, the little man, the dark, the kind of spooky. We've talked about it in a previous podcast. The soundtrack to the ride, it starts with a little bit of humming and some kind of spooky music. And he's not a big fan, but it is a awesome ride. I got Peter Pan. I'm gonna go Peter Pan's Flight as my second favorite since you took Pirates. But Peter Pan's Flight, definitely a dart ride. It's dark in there. It fits with the actual description of a dart ride. Tells a story on a track. Pretty solid ride. I feel like Pirates and Peter Pan kind of go hand in hand for me.
Yeah. I had a hard time with that one, truthfully, because I think it is one of the most nostalgic rides. It's such a unique setup. You're like flying over the city and all that kind of stuff. And I love the ride. It is one that I feel like needs a bit of an update. Like, you can very clearly tell that the animatronics are older, and that may be a bit of a hot take, but
that's what I was going to ask you: does it need an update? Is it not the most weighted on dark ride?
And that's probably why they're not going to.
Right,
it probably is, and that's probably why they're not going to update. It
has the highest demand as far as all the dark rides.
Yeah. But like, I guess just in my opinion, when I was weighing in on the list, it started off higher, and then I was just thinking like, but realistically, like, if I'm in the park and you tell me I get to ride one of these, like, and it kind of kept dropping down the list for me. And maybe some of that is just the wait, is I don't want to go wait an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah. So where are we
and
at?
That might be why. You should be at 3 maybe, but that might be why it kind of holds
just joint list.
higher on my list, is because I haven't rode it a ton due to the wait times usually. And we've rode a couple times, and it's kind of new every time we ride it. It's how big of a gap is between each time we get on the ride. So it seems fairly new every time we ride it. So maybe I haven't burned it out yet.
Yeah. No, it's a great ride. I love it. That is one I say, if you got to give me an option, that's one that usually falls at, I think the past 2 or 3 trips, we will get in line for that, like as the park is closing. There's 2 minutes left and we're hopping in because by that point, it's got a 15, 20-minute wait. So that's usually when we're hitting Peter Pan. But all right, coming in at number 4, I put the Haunted Mansion. Was my next on the list. That's another classic one. Have y'all done much of the Haunted Mansion? With how many years are younger?
Yeah, I've rode it maybe once. Not a big Haunted Mansion. I don't care much about it, really. It's usually got a little weight to it. We're usually there around Halloween, so it's kind of one of the higher demand, low-end attractions, as I would call it, just given the time of year and the parties and stuff like that. But not a big fan. I like it. It's cool. It's got cool theming, and it does a really good job for what it is. But just I don't care much about it, to be honest.
Yeah, hot take. For me, that's one of the classics. I guess I grew up on. It's got a lot of like practical effects, and a lot of the like old school Disney magic stuff going on. Great soundtrack. Like, I'm a big fan of the Haunted Mansion. So came into my individual list. I guess came in at number 2.
I guess it's not really even it's more to it than just the ride itself. I guess it's got kind of what you would call the pre-show, or your your cue's really solid there. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but I do understand why everybody else is. Like you said, we've kind of been doing the parks since having kids, so
that's one too that I feel like you will, the more and more you dive in, that's just one of those with a lot of Disney history to it.
Mm.
When you're looking into like how it was made and who made it and like the different iterations it's gone through. Like that was originally going to be like a walk-through ride, and I don't know, there's interesting things and legends and stuff that kind of go along with it that are fun.
And you'll see from my next pick, this is kind of like the nostalgia for me in the past 3 years with the kids. Next, I'm going The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Let's go.
Yeah, not a jam of a ride, but we hit it 6 times a trip.
Beware.
Yeah.
Talk about a spooky ride. That would have been on the dark ride list.
It can make my version of a dark ride list. Winnie the Pooh, the animatronics are jam up. You got Pooh, you got Tigger. You got what is it, the Heffalumpuffus or whatever it is.
The Heffalumps and Woozles.
Yes, and it's just a nostalgic ride for me due to my little boys always loved it. It's one we hit every time we walk through Magic Kingdom, maybe twice. So definitely on the list.
No, I'm with you. Great ride. I didn't have it that high up, but it was truthfully once I got through like 3, I was
back
and
blending.
forth. Like
yeah.
My kind of like 4 through 10 is just a bit of a toss up. All right, so where are we headed? We headed number 6 here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll slide in with Frozen Ever After.
Yeah.
Great ride, and really, I'm doing that. I have not seen the updated animatronics besides on YouTube, but I'm doing that just assuming. I think it would go a little bit lower with the outdated animatronics, the new ones. I went ahead and just pre-bumped it up a little bit because I had some close calls right there. But a fun one. You get to go backwards. We've talked about it in the, I think, best songs. Elsa hitting that note right at the right time and you flying backwards. Yeah. And it's a cool cue. Even, I guess the new updated animatronics, they were already updated if you're comparing it to like a Peter Pan or whatever, too. I mean, I don't know, just a fun ride.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see the new faces because it was always a major flaw when the faces lit up and you're like, what is this?
I feel like they got worse over time. Like maybe I'm crazy, but like I remember noticing it the first time, but it wasn't like that bad. Mm. And then like after a few years, you're like, this is
like I could draw that on their face as good as what that looks like. Like
no kidding.
It got bad. I don't know what you're going to say about this. It definitely could have went higher. Star Wars: Rise of the Resistance. We calling this a dark ride? Technically,
that was one for me. I did not. But that
very
was
modern dark ride.
That was the most on the line. The only reason that I did not is because it has a height requirement. I went ahead and for my list, I went ahead and disqualified anything with a height requirement. But when I started thinking about it, that was like I was going through them. That would have been my number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right there where it's like it does have all of the qualifications. I think. Animatronic, story driven. Then you just got the height requirement and a little bit more thrill.
Does Mickey and Minnie's not have a height requirement?
Okay.
Which is weird because I don't think you're buckled into either one, are you? Do you buckle into Rise? I think you just kind of...
Yeah, I think, yeah, you buckle in.
You got a seatbelt?
Mm-hmm. I think it's mainly, I don't think it's as much the dark aspect, you go into that ship at the end of it, and they fly you out of there.
That's true.
I think that's a
little bit rougher.
Where it gets a little dicey. But no, I think that's still a perfectly acceptable pick. For my classic definition, I took it off.
Yeah. I figured it was on the line. That's why I didn't go first overall. But this far down the list, we're going to throw it on there.
I like it. All right. Number 8. I'm going to hit you with Remy's. And I'll be honest, I have not even watched the updated Remy's. I'm assuming it looks a lot like the 3D version, just in 2D. But I'm a big, although truthfully, I've heard some people say they like it less. they
Hey,
like
I
it
have.
less.
I was about to say, I heard somebody that said that they get motion sick with the 3D glasses, and they like the new version less. They wish they would go back to the glasses,
Yeah.
and that was weird to me.
So
So I don't really know
I
what to
went ahead and
expect.
I went ahead and threw it on there because that is one where, like I said, when we're playing, you got to pick a ride. You know, would you want to ride this one or this one? That one's always on the list for us. I mean, we always got to hit Remy's, and that's just like Peter Pan. We hit that right at the end of the night before the park closes, and I don't know. I just think it's a very unique. You being scaled down size of the rat, like
Yeah.
it's a different vibe from any other ride, just about. So big fan.
So the next two I have on the list could go in any order, however you want to. I'm gonna go just based off of how much I like them. If I like which one ranks higher movie wise, I'm going to Seas with Nemo and Friends.
Okay.
Definitely a dark ride. Definitely animatronics. Very basic, but we're to that point in the list where we just kind of got something on the board. Going with Seas with Nemo and Friends. Solid movie. Solid soundtrack to the ride. Solid place to
Well,
chill when it's hot.
was not on my list. Didn't have it on my list at all. The last time we went was the first time I've ridden it in a very long time, and I did it. I mean, I enjoyed it more than I remembered. So I mean, I did like it, but not quite as
Let's
high.
say animatronic. I don't know that ride has any animatronics on it, but
That's why I wasn't sure enough to say anything, but I wasn't.
I don't think it does. Maybe I'm
It's
thinking of the
mostly
next one I
projections.
had. Yeah, it's all projections, I think. Till you get to the aquarium, then it's real live action. But
Yeah.
definitely dark ride.
But front and right. I mean, my daughter absolutely. Me and her went on it. She loved it. So great one for the kids. And in a similar vein, what are we at number 10? Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
Was
that
the
was
next
the one
on
I was
my
comparing
list.
it to.
Great ride, very high energy. Like it a lot. Like the going backwards and you're looking up at the screen and you go through all the different cool scenes. You know, the end of it, it kind of drops off a little bit. The beginning's a lot more fun than the end. But overall, that's a fun one for everyone. Where I think no matter what your kid's into, you can probably get on Little Mermaid. Ursula might be a little scary, but besides that, I think you're pretty much good.
I feel like that one too has kind of the drop of the music's a lot like Frozen, where you don't have an actual drop with Elsa singing to you as you sliding backwards, but I think when they're playing, was it Under the Sea, and you kind of spin right by the animatronics. It kind of hits. It's like the perfect timing theme with the music, and it just kind of hits you at home. So yeah, that was the one I was going with the Seas or Little Mermaid, and so I just kind of like Finding Nemo a bit more.
No, you're right. High. It's a high energy for sure.
That is everything I've got on my list. Like I said, once I knew Toy Story Mania and Buzz Lightyear were questionable at best. But what else you got on yours to kind of give me some good ideas?
My last three. Really, I only have two more on the list. There was a third that I left off that I debated. Spaceship Earth.
Solid.
Three Caballeros, and Navi River Journey are honorable mentions.
So I've never done Three Caballeros or Navi River.
Really?
Yeah.
Three Caballeros is a fun one. I mean, Spaceship Earth. Obviously, that.
Yeah, solid.
Well, yeah, we might should have bumped that up a little bit. That's another one of those classic ones. Three Caballeros is, I mean, it's really just like a boat ride. There's not a whole lot to it, to be honest. But it's just one of those fun. You're starting off around the world showcase. We always hit it right at the beginning, and it's pretty much most of it is the other Panchito and I can't remember the other one's name. Looking for Donald for most of it, and then Navi River Journey. That's the one where I debated. I haven't ridden it in a while. It's supposed to have some of like the most advanced animatronics that Disney has, that was the case when they came out. But if I recall, there's not really much of a story. It's like you're just kind of taking a boat through different scenes of Pandora, and like it looks amazing. It
So I was
sounds
gonna say,
good.
I've heard it's got really the colors and the theming is just like you're on the set of Avatar. Um, one we've never done. I think my wife's mother or stepmom really enjoys it, but I don't know. I don't know why we've never done it. Actually, to be honest with you, I think my little boy would love it, but
Cause you just from the moment you show up, you're just trying to run out of Animal Kingdom.
we're trying to get out of the zoo. Gotta get out of the zoo.
But no, it's a fine ride. But it's
And we're right next to it. We're always, we always hit Flight of Passage. So I don't know. Maybe it's got a line and we don't want to stand in line, which is usually not that big of a wait time from what I remember. But
yeah.
might have to try it out next time. Spend a little bit longer time in Animal Kingdom next trip.
Yeah, no, we're gonna make sure of it. I'm gonna,
I mean,
we already talked
checklist
about
of
we're gonna make you a checklist of like things you hadn't done that you need to do, and we're gonna have an episode about that. And I'm gonna fill you up with
Animal Kingdom
stuff.
Come back. There's not gonna be one check mark off of Animal Kingdom. That dude, what in the world?
No, probably not. Probably not.
Dude, we did shop at the gift shop on the way out.
They've got a solid gift shop. You can skip the. I'll tell you. I don't know if we did the Rainforest Cafe, which I've always been a bigger fan.
I've done that with you, I think. Maybe not. Maybe
you did that with me in Nashville. That
so
was
I've
actually
ate at the one.
That was
there,
actually when
that.
I went to go audition to be a character performer for the college program, and you rode up there with me. And
Yeah.
we went out that night and may or may not have made it to the audition that morning.
Well, we'll have a whole episode of our Disney audition story.
Yeah, that'll have to be like a private link. They'll have to message us.
Paywall. I have to have a paywall on that one.
Well, right, you gotta have a paywall for that one. I'm not just gonna tell that story willingly.
As y'all could tell, he worked Dumbo. Or what was it? What was it? You do at Dumbo and you what was the roller coaster? Barnstormer. Yeah, he didn't get the part.
No,
that tells you if he made it to the audition or not. He wasn't.
No, I went back and went to an audition. We ended up at the audition eventually, but my dad went with me the next time to keep me in line. I wasn't allowed to go with you again.
We'll definitely tell that story sometime on the pod. That's a good one.
We'll see. We shall see.
We got anything else we want to talk about?
I ain't got anything. Nice, short, and sweet.
Yeah. Here we go. I do like the dark, like you said, we discussed it before the podcast about, should we call it rides for kids, and that really don't fit the language that Disney uses. They definitely say dark rides, but it is a list of rides for kids. Essentially, I think, like you said, besides the height requirement for rides, everything is my youngest could ride, in a lap. A 1.5-year-old could ride in a lap. So, I think that's probably why a lot of these on my list were more nostalgic. It's just because every trip's been with a kid in the lap, in Pooh or in Peter Pan. So definitely a lot of rides for kids.
For sure.
That's it. That's a wrap. You ready to call it?
Yeah. You want to sign us off, brother?
I will. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to us, follow us on all platforms. If you got any questions or comments, shoot us a DM. Watch us on YouTube, anywhere you get your podcasts, and we'll catch y'all next time on the Wildest Dads in the Wilderness podcast.
Hey, add to that real quick. We got some reviews last time, so y'all keep that up. That's very helpful. Review.
Only if it's 5-star. Just give us the good stuff.
Exactly.
Till next time. See ya.
We're the wildest dads in the wilderness.